Hey everyone, and welcome into another edition of the PHNX Suns pregame show. As always, brought to you by our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. If you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the code PHNX when you sign up, you can win $100 in free bets instantly after you place just a $1 bet on any NBA team to score a point, and they do. When they score, you score with the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
There you go.
I'm Lindsey Smith, and I've got Saul Bookman by my side. It's just the two of us.
I promise
here in the
Espo is
studio.
still alive. I promise he's still alive. He just is not feeling well today. But that's okay, because we upgraded. Because today we had the flex appeal. There we go. Let's bring him in from New York, because you know it's cold as shit outside there. We've got to heat this thing up.
Well, Shane, you didn't like my sound effect. You had to do the real one.
Sorry. Espo, feel better, my boy.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's probably just sitting at home critiquing us right now. It's all good.
He's totally watching. I guarantee it, because he can't just take a day off.
No, he has to watch. That's
Bless
what it
his
is.
heart. Hopefully he'll be feeling better by Sunday's game, and he'll be back here hanging with us. But in the meantime, we got Flex from Jersey joining us. Flex, what you been up to these days?
Staying warm. Freezing like hell out here. It's cold. I wish I was with y'all right now.
What was the temperature out there today?
Right now it's like 29 degrees.
Dang! No, thank you.
No.
Yeah,
Yo, it was 29
crazy.
degrees today too in my freezer.
70 degrees right now in Phoenix, and I'm in a
70.
sweatshirt and a beanie.
70.
Like, I couldn't
Man,
even, I
that's
could
crazy.
never.
Man.
Hey,
wow.
real talk. Do y'all feel cold when it drops to like 70? Or y'all that adapted?
100%.
I don't, but I know other people
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Okay, but it's a different type of cold. So, like, desert cold, I feel like is worse than cold where you can get snow, because the humidity makes it feel not as bad.
True. That is true, but still
I
70
gotta
degrees
experience
cold.
that. I gotta experience that.
70 degrees cold and 29 degrees cold.
Yes,
I don't
totally,
give a
the
fuck
70s.
if it's a dry cold or not. That shit is not cold
But
as
like
compared
50
to 29
degrees in the desert is super cold.
For real. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta experience that. I gotta feel it for myself.
Yeah.
But I believe you. I believe you. I know. I've heard a lot of people tell me when they, you adapt out there. 70. Yo, I'm rocking tank tops when it's 60 out here.
I couldn't.
You know what I'm
For
saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Hypothermia ain't got shit on you.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying, bro.
Well, tonight it is the Suns and the Mavs.
I feel like we just did
Once
this shit the
again,
other day.
We're running it
Man.
back. This is kind of like the
Groundhog. This is the
Semi-
Groundhog series right here. We just
Yeah.
woke up and all of a sudden we're right back to where we were on Wednesday.
It's throwing us all for a loop, I think. But a little bit of leftover, like hangover scheduling from the main part of the pandemics. Obviously, they still want to reduce travel as much as possible for these guys, but that's kind of where this is coming from. But the Suns are looking to go 11 straight tonight. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we could totally do it. And we absolutely should do it.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, tonight's matchup, we saw what the Mavs could bring the other night. I think the Suns didn't play a great game for the most part. In the fourth quarter, they picked it up. They put everything together like good teams do. They found a way to win. I think tonight will be the opposite, minus a fourth quarter meltdown. I don't think they're going to melt down in the fourth quarter and have a great game. Otherwise, I think they're going to have a good game from start to finish. They know what this Mavs team can do. They'll match up better on the perimeter against the three-point shooters, and I think they're going to win by double digits tonight.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, tape don't lie, right? You get them 2 days ago, and now you get to watch the tape and regroup, clean some things up. A guy like Jalen Brunson ain't gonna get a triple double tonight or come close to a triple double tonight. At least I hope not. But yeah, man, it's just this should be a dub. This should be a double digit dub. It should be 11 in a row. Shit, should be 12 in a row. They are Harrison Barnes 3-point away from almost winning 12 in a row, man. And we said backstage, man, it's the ugliest 10-game win streak I've ever seen. And I'm saying that in a complimentary way. Like, there's not too many teams that can play ugly basketball or not be at peak basketball and win 10 straight. So it's impressive, man. But
For
yeah,
sure.
this one feels like a dub tonight.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's good too, progress to an extent, right? Because it is ugly basketball, but we're still winning. The Suns do have a little bit of a track record of playing down to the teams that they're playing against. But last season, we saw them drop a few of these games. Yeah. When they did play down, they lost a few of the ones that they should have won. At least this year, even though they're not putting together a full 4 quarters each game. They're winning those games instead of dropping them. And that's progress.
That's what good teams do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think, we were talking about earlier on the Cardinals show is that, I think last year the Suns caught everybody by surprise. They won games like this, but nobody really understood that the Suns were a much better team than most of the teams that they were playing down against. Now, in hindsight, if we saw this team last year and understood that they were going to make a finals run, we probably would have panicked a little bit more with some of the close games that they were playing. But since we didn't know any better, we were like, all right, hey, a win's a win. We'll take any win we can get. You know what I mean? So this year that expectation's higher. So we're like, hey, you got to take care of business against the smaller teams. And it's kind of nice because when we're watching this team play, it's just like a fine wine. It just gets better with age. And as they get closer to the fourth quarter, they just get a little bit better and a little bit better, a little bit better. And then all of a sudden, boom, they put you to sleep. Like wine really does.
Couldn't agree more. You nailed it, bro. Like that's exactly. I couldn't have said it better, bro. We didn't know who we were last year, and so now the identity of this team is pretty clear, and the goal is clear. So, yeah, man, they're doing their thing. Listen, they're the best team in crunch time in basketball.
Totally.
They play on demand defense, and it's like I was saying this earlier, man. The Suns are mastering. When I coach my high school kids, I tell them, I go, listen, you do the hard stuff to make the game easy. And if you do the easy things, the game is hard. And the Suns are just mastering the ability to do the hard things. Mm-hmm. Like the hard things are being good teammates, rebounding, single defense, team defense, passing the ball, caring for each other, setting screens. That's all the hard stuff. And a lot of teams don't want to do that. And the Suns do that in spades. So they're doing all the things that championship teams need to do, and then they're icing it up in the last 6 minutes of basketball games, which is going to pay dividends come playoff time. They're practicing every night, it seems like, how to close out games early in the season. And again, come playoff time, it's going to be impressive. This team's ready to roll.
Appreciate the love in the chat by Mike B. Also, he's giving shout outs to Flex, and myself, and Lindsey. And yes, this is a Mike Tyson shirt I'm rocking today. I just saw it
Mike, baby.
Yeah, I saw
Catskills,
it online.
baby. Catskills, New York.
I knew you'd like
it,
Flex.
Yes,
New York.
Sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Mike B also mentioned that he heard Luka Doncic is still out, which, yes, is true. So let's take a look at the injury report for tonight's game. Luka is out, Maxi's out, Frank is out, Dario, of course, is out. So literally a repeat of Wednesday night's game is what we're getting here tonight.
Yep. Just, might as well just take the DVD or the tape or whatever you record your stuff on and just run it back. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to watch this game. Just run that back. There's your answer.
Before we move on to our matchup graphic, Flex, Phoenix Suns 22 in the chat asked if you had any update on Thad Young.
Or K-Love.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't read all of that.
Yeah, nothing on K-Love, but I'm telling y'all, the Thad Young thing is still very much alive. I've been saying it for a while. They're talking. I think it's going to happen. I feel really good about it happening. I think it may change a little bit. It was supposed to be a trade, but now the way things are going, the Suns might just be playing it smart and sitting down and saying, we're going to wait for the buyout. And remember, they got half of that mid-level exception if they need to still use that. And that's part of the game plan. You save half of that mid-level exception so that if and when Thad Young gets bought out, and teams can offer vet minimums of 1 year, $1 million, $2 million, the Suns could come up with 4.5 and say, here's a little bit of a bag, and come be our Torrey Craig. You know what I'm saying? Do the same thing Torrey Craig did last year, and that'll work phenomenally for them. So yeah, I think it's gonna happen. Nothing to update immediately right now. Nothing's imminent, but I think it's gonna happen.
Just a waiting game, and whenever news does drop or we get anything, we'll be sure to update you guys. All right, let's take a look at our matchup graphic for tonight. We've got Chris Paul and Jalen Brunson. Last game, Jalen Brunson, he almost had a triple-double, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Chris Paul, he struggled offensively in Wednesday night's game. He had 7 points, he had 4 rebounds, but he did impact this game in other ways. Obviously, with the 14 assists, he also did not have a single turnover in the game. Those 7 points, though, he entered the fourth quarter, I believe, with 1 point. And the other 6 came in the fourth quarter. And I also believe that he entered into the fourth quarter with 7 assists, maybe somewhere around there. So he had a huge impact in the fourth quarter which is what you would expect from Chris Paul, obviously.
I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
You know, that's what he does. He just waits. Yeah. He just bides his time. And you know, sometimes I feel like the shots that he takes, right, as a player, you know this, Flex, you take a couple shots, and if you're a game manager, you're like, okay, I'm not going to force the issue. If it's there, I'm going to take it. If it's not, I'm not. And he shoots, and maybe he misses a couple more, and then pretty soon he's like, well, damn, am I really like off? Mm-hmm. And then he shot a couple more in the third quarter, and he was like, well, shit, I really am off. And then in the fourth quarter, he was like, well, let me try one more time. He nets one, and he's like, okay, it's right here. And then the next time down the court, again, whop. I was like, okay. And then they start to bring up, then they start to creep up on him because they realize, okay, he's starting to come alive. Boom, 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 boom. Get you with the assist. Yeah. You're done. Bye.
Yeah. Yo, he's a master. He's a sneaky dude, man. Chris Paul's a sneaky dude, man. And I mean that in the sense that, you know, I watched the game and exactly what you said. He's not shooting the ball well. He's passing up some of those open shots. And it almost rocks the defense to sleep. Like the fourth quarter comes and they're like, all right, CP ain't scored today. We can just chill. And then bang, bang, bang. It's like 2-3 in a row.
Yep.
And then it's like the snowball effect. It's like, oh, damn. Now Chris is back. And it feeds right into what we do. Think about that zone the other night when he started to hit his shots. Dallas couldn't figure it out. They say, damn it, let's go into a stupid zone. And now all of a sudden you got Cam and Jay Crowder banging out threes. So Chris is a master at it, man. Guy's just so cerebral. Yep. And a lot of times I think he just sets this shit up. Sometimes I think he's just like, all right, let me just set these dudes up for three quarters and then kill them in the fourth. And it's comical sometimes because it seems like that's what he's doing.
The great thing about him is like as he's going through the game, he knows whether or not he's on, right? And so based on how he's shooting, how he's feeling, it kind of dictates what he's going to do passing wise, right? And so everybody thinks that he's like this beautiful game manager, which he is, but they also think like he just wants to pass to kind of like get everybody else involved, which to a degree is true, but it's also because like he took a couple 3-pointers in last game in the first quarter, second quarter, and it just wasn't feeling right. So he was like, okay, I know my game right now. I still need a little bit of time to get into the flow of this. Let me get everybody else involved, create some more for them, and then pretty soon he gets into a flow. If he starts hitting those shots in the first, second quarter, that's when you see those 30-point nuggets that he drops every now and then because he knows like, okay, I don't have to defer as much because I can get mine. So that's the beauty of Chris Paul. He's a vet. He's a pro. He's a Hall of Famer. Like it's just beautiful to watch. He's reliable.
Safe, reliable, secure. Yeah. It's like the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's true.
It is. But no, I did just look. So he did have 1 point and 7 assists heading into the fourth quarter of Wednesday night's game. So we picked that matchup because, one, I don't think Jalen Brunson will be flirting with a triple-double again tonight. And I also don't think Chris Paul will have the same offensive outing as he had on Wednesday night as he did tonight. I think those two might flip.
Yeah. I can see Chris giving it to him tonight.
Yeah,
because Brunson was giving it to the Suns the other night. Like he was hitting some nice little shots. So I think tonight for sure they'll either have Chris on him or they'll switch up and put Mikal on him a little bit more just to kind of shut that shit down real quick.
I agree. Mikal knows him from Villanova, man. He teammates, man. Mikal should be on him the whole damn game.
Yeah.
But Jalen hooped out the other night, man. He was very impressive. Felt like he was getting past that first line of defense every time he had the ball. Easily too. Yeah, easily. I agree with Lindsey though, man. I could see a complete flip tonight. And if you're on that DraftKings, you might want to look at that, look at some Chris Paul numbers tonight because I think it's going to flip tonight.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on to our next topic. Let's talk a little bit about Cam Johnson. So there's been a lot of conversation around Cam shooting, and our very own Gerald Bourguet got to talk with him earlier today at Shoot Around about that. So let's see what Cam had to say.
Just getting back to basics, starting close to the hoop and building, form back. I do a lot of probably reflection on my shooting and what, I may be doing right or I may be doing wrong. Maybe it could be something technical or maybe it could just be, something mental. But a lot of reflection on it and then a lot of reps to try to hammer out any issues. But I'll tell you what, throughout the whole season, they've been feeling good. I don't feel like I don't really even feel like I'm in a slump. Shots leave my hand and they feel like they're going in. And Some of them just back rim, front rim, back rim out. So a little bit of misfortune there, but just got to keep shooting.
Yeah, I like Cam because, Cam reminds me of back in my younger days when I went to the bar and like girls would reject me and I'm like, bro, I'm not even like that ugly. Like, no, bro, you are. You just ain't hitting it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so like when Cam's like, dude, I don't even think I'm in a slump. Bro, you're in a slump. Okay, let's go.
I mean. He was two for two from beyond the arc on Wednesday.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and those were two big threes that this team needed.
Huge threes.
But
he was 2 for 2 for a reason because he was afraid to shoot the rest of the game.
Flex, what do you think?
Yeah, no, listen, he's in a slump, man. I love Cam. Cam's one of the most cerebral guys. He's a great interview too. Very smart kid, very articulate. I love hearing him talk in the interviews. He's one of the better interviews we got. But, yeah, he's in a slump, and he knows it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, though, this kid is a shooter. And what I want to remind people is, like, this is what I love about Cam Johnson, man, is that he does so much more in the game besides what everybody's talking about is shooting. I mean, his hands are always in the passing lanes. He's always playing good defense. He's always in the right spot on rotations. Yeah. He always seems to get the loose ball. So I'm okay, man. Cam, let it fly, dog. You a shooter. Let it fly.
Yeah, you got to shoot your shot, bud. You got to shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot, dog. Shoot your shot.
If I didn't shoot my shot, I wouldn't be married now going on the third time. So just saying.
Hey, Lindsey, I got a question for you. DA getting 12 rebounds tonight? Yes or no?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, I'm on the DraftKings, man. I'm trying to get me a banger tonight, and I got DA. That's my question. I need DA to get 12 boards tonight.
I don't think I came through for you last time, though. I don't think I picked the right one.
No, you did. You said +7, and we won by like 15. But I'm gonna tell you, the problem was I added props to it, and Book killed me on the under.
Yeah.
Book killed me on the under. 3 nights in a row. Book got to get one more point from me. I'm getting it tonight, though. Tonight, Book. Get it tonight, Book. Stop playing with me, man.
Fingers crossed for you. We got this. So with Cam Johnson, obviously he's on the second unit. There's been a lot of conversation about that unit as well this year. Just them trying to find their rhythm. And we've kind of had conversations about what it is that's sort of just what they have to tinker with in there. And a lot of it just comes down for us anyway, or for me, it's just that there's been so much movement within that unit. Yeah,
there's been a lot of movement, but I really do think that this second unit is kind of feeling the effects of not having an energy guy like Torrey Craig. Like the second chance opportunities, the energy, the bounce. When Cam Payne comes off the bench himself and doesn't provide the energy, that second unit tends to look a little bit lost. That's why they have to kind of measure Booker and Chris Paul's minutes to try and supplement that, so that way the game doesn't get too far out of reach. But it's been a struggle. They're going to find their way. I'm not too concerned about that, and hopefully down the road, if they do add a Thad Young, that will help. But yeah, I just like that's the thing that I keep seeing is that they're struggling energy wise with that second unit. And JaVale stumbling over himself is not really part of that.
Yo, JaVale is he's really like the poster boy for Shaq in the Fold, man. I'm telling you, there's sometimes I'm like, JaVale, what are you doing?
Between him and Chris Paul, since Gerald said that, like there's always one or two things a game that makes him laugh.
Yeah. You almost pick him up more now.
Every game since then, I'm like, oh shit, that made me laugh. And he does some crazy, stupid, foolish kind of stuff. You're like, why?
He's probably why not? I'm 36, why not?
If you a fly in the wall at my crib, you'll hear me call Chris Paul skip to my loo like twice a night. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
He swears he's at Rucker Park.
Like Rayford, huh?
Man. Yeah, like Ray Austin, man. He does it twice a game where he does some funky, in between stuff. And I'm like, Chris, you're 36, homie. Like, come on, man. Come on, dog. Like, you first ballot Hall of Famer, baby. Stop that.
Man.
It's funny. It's hilarious.
Now, I will lose it if he ever comes down the court and he just starts skipping with the ball right there. I will you will never see me again.
Yeah, that second unit to get it going, man. They get it going. They haven't gotten it going yet, and they're in a 10-game win streak. Once Cam Payne, Cam Johnson, and Landry Shamet get it going, man, they're going to be scary.
Right, and here is what Monty had to say about that when he was asked about Cam Johnson specifically, but then he just kind of took it like Monty does and talked about the whole entire second unit. So let's see.
It could be. One thing we've seen, Landry's impact on that group has taken shots away from guys, and that's okay. I think we will adjust to that. I just feel like Cam needs to get more looks. He's that good of a shooter. I don't think he had a shot in the first half, and then the second half, his threes gave us some energy. But I do think that group has to get more of a rhythm because of Campaign being out. JaVale's been in and out of that group.
Yeah, so once they find their rhythm, things will pick up for that second unit. But it's not like they're struggling beyond, like, to the extremes, right? They had a solid game on Wednesday. Hopefully they will have another solid game here tonight. I do think the second unit matchups will be a big one tonight. The Suns can't allow the Mavericks to take advantage of them when that second unit is in, but not worried about it.
No, not worried about it at all. I think they're going to handle business tonight. We were all talking about how the first game was probably the one they might drop, especially with Luka in the fold if he was going to play. He didn't play. They still kind of struggled. Now, this time around, second time around, I think they'll handle business. It's kind of like almost like a playoff preview.
I was going to say that. Yeah,
you're going to play them again 2 times in the last 3 days, and you just put them away. They're worthless.
I was going to say that. And you know what? The Suns, they've been on record. Guys like Book has gone on record and said he loved the process in the playoffs just because of that. He loved the fact that you can play a team and then 2 days later play them again and make adjustments, look at tape, take advantage of situations. And so this is like a mini little playoff thing where you get back-to-back home games. It's very rare. You usually get a back-to-back, but it's very rare that it's home and home, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's one or the other. So, yeah, I do. That's a great point, man. It looks like a little bit like a playoff. They make an adjustment, and they were good at it last year. So let's see. This is the first opportunity to kind of see them in that spot. So let's see what happens.
Well, Humble Rumble in the comments said, I need to get better people in my life. I'm an adult with nowhere to go. You are always welcome to come hang out with us.
Always.
We
Humble
are
Rumble.
happy to have you here.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Hey, this is your pregame and postgame family right here, baby.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about.
even not on game days, we'll be around at times too. So come
we?
hang out with us. We'll be your friends.
I mean, where? Oh, you mean like on the
Like
podcast?
live shows. Yeah,
I
on the
got
podcast.
you. I got you.
Like
I got
if we
you.
only have like a couple games a week, we'll
I was
still
like,
be
if I go
around
to
here.
like Circle K and Humble Rumble's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, yo, what? Yo. We didn't mean like that.
You never know. Internet friends can become real life friends.
There you go.
It does happen these days. It's 2021. Like, we've seen stranger things. But thank you all for tuning in to our pregame show. We will be back here again right after the game ends, so come hang out with us then. Until then, you can follow Flex from Jersey on Twitter at Flex from Jersey, me at Lindsey Smith AZ, and Saul Bookman at Saul_Bookman, and of course, the podcast at PHNX_Suns. So come hang out with us on Twitter throughout the game. Let's chat, and then we will see you back right here once that wraps up.